Good morning, or good afternoon, or evening. Come, let's do some yoga. Day 2. So come into your child's pose. So come rest in. You can have your elbows bent if you wish. You can have your fists resting underneath your forehead. You can have your bum in the air and your head resting down. Really depends on you. So I'm going to have my arms out long and my head down. And just allow your breath to settle. As you feel into the sensations, often after a few moments you realize maybe I've gone too far. So adjust by coming out a bit or giving your head a little bit more support. And do what you feel is right. Just feeling into your spine, getting a sense of your hips, your feet, your knees, the lower back, a sense of how your breath is pushing into your thighs. Nice. And then coming forward onto your hands and knees. On your hands and knees, if you push your hands down deeply into the floor. And then rounding your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button. Pausing there for a moment, really tuck your chin in. And then arching your back, draw your chest forward, look forward. And just begin to roll from one to the other. So you're arching your back, looking forward, rounding your back, tucking your chin under. And as you move, it's not about being anywhere except for just here. It's about being in these sensations and allowing that the sensations inform you how you move. So how do you warm up your spine? I've really been dwelling with that notion of spinal hygiene. You know, we brush our teeth every morning. What do we do for our spines every morning? So this is my idea of what I would do, what I do when I sit on the floor in the morning. Nice. Come to neutral and then look over your right shoulder. Feel the stretch in the left side of your waist, the left side of your spine. And then look over the left shoulder. And then travel from side to side. Just notice, oh, there is a stretch, there's some sensation. Oh, there's a stretch, there's some sensation. And you're traveling from one side to the other. Nice. Come to center. Pushing your hands down, your toes are tucked under. Push back into your downward dog and create length into your legs. As you pull your heels back, straightening through your legs, draw the navel up towards your spine. Nice. Bending one knee, stretch into the other leg. And bending one knee, stretching into the other leg. And as you do so, notice what happens in the hips, in the spine, in the belly as you deepen one side and then soften the other. As you travel from one leg straightening to the other leg straightening. You're really warming up, connecting in. Nice. Drop both knees to the floor and bring your hands one handprint forward. So I'm walking my hands one handprint forward from where they began, grabbing the floor with your fingers, rounding your back, and then begin to rock forward and backwards. So as you rock forwards, listen to your spine. So it's not about stretching your spine, it's about listening and connecting to your spine. So for me, first thing, I never want to drop my hips forward. I always want to really hear that there's a tightness or a restriction and value and respect that sensation. So as I rock forward and backwards, I'm listening to my shoulders deeply and I'm listening to my hips and lower back deeply. I'm valuing the sensations. I'm allowing myself to adjust what I do based on that. Wonderful. Super. Come sit on your mat. So come sitting on your mat and then come lie on your mat. So come all the way down, lying on your back, and just make fists out of your hands with your knees bent and roll your fists in the air, your arms in the air, your wrists in the air, and then roll in the other direction. Just awakening into your hands and really supporting the work we just did. Stretch your legs up and roll out into your ankles. Rolling into your ankles and then roll in the other direction. Open all your toes and fingers wide and then squeeze them shut. Open all your toes and fingers wide and squeeze them shut. Nice. Bend both knees and squeeze your knees towards your chest, feeling the lengthening into the lower back. And then stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. So this will create sensation through the backs of your legs. Listen to it. And draw your knees down towards you, squeezing them in. And then stretch your legs up towards your ceiling. And again, bending your knees, squeeze your knees onto your chest, and then stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Nice. Bend one knee, bend the other knee, both feet are on the floor. Bring your arms wide into a T, and then drop both knees to the right, and feeling the sensation of that. Coming back up to center, and drop your knees to the left, feeling the sensation of that. Is it different? And then begin to travel from side to side, really juicifying, warming, connecting into the legs, the hips, the lower back, the belly, the rib cage, even up into the shoulders. Nice. And come back to center. Bring your arms long beside you, they rest on the floor. And then pushing your feet down into the floor, begin to roll up along your spine. So as you roll up, again, listen. And then slowly rolling down. Perhaps the first few times you do this, that has to be a small movement. Perhaps always when you do this, it has to be a small movement. Perhaps it's a very elaborate movement for you because of your spine. Just listen. As you travel up and down along your spine, your feet are solid, you're opening the front of your thighs, the front of your hips, to your sense of wellness this morning, this evening, whichever time you're watching this. Traveling up and traveling down. Really listening, hearing. I love the sense of how the weight of my body travels down and the descending edge of contact. And then as my back rises up, it's that rising edge of contact. I feel like a rolling pin along my spine, or it's always really, yeah, I just love it. Certain movements I find very hypnotic and I could stay in for ages. So just notice for you if this is one of them. And then lower your bum all the way to the floor. Squeeze the right knee up onto your chest, hug it in. And then from here, so depending on the strength of your pelvis and your legs, either leave your left foot where it is, lift your left foot off the floor, or stretch your left leg long until it floats long and strong. So squeezing the right knee up towards your chest and lengthen out long into the left leg. So for me, the sense of drawing backwards through the navel is very important here, and widening my shoulders and then squeezing my right knee ever closer. I imagine that I'm pushing a stone away from me with that left leg, and I'm getting longer and longer from the sole of my left foot to the top of my head. To really connect the whole of you in this moment. If you were standing, how would you stand taller right now on that left leg? Change. Draw the left knee towards you and modify accordingly to your needs. Squeeze the right knee towards you. No, left knee towards you. Sorry. And either keep the right foot on the floor, let it float, or stretch the right leg long until it reaches out long and strong just above the floor. So your left knee is up towards you and your right leg is really long. Again, draw the navel backwards, widen into your shoulders and squeeze that left knee closer and closer. Breathing into your belly, breathing into that right leg, lengthening from the sole of the right foot to the top of your head. I love that sense of inhabiting the whole of my body. Nice. Squeeze both knees towards you, hug them both in, and then lower both toes to touch the floor. As you touch, just let them tap. Squeeze your knees towards you. Let your toes tap. And one more time, squeeze your knees towards you and let your toes tap. Nice. Then let your feet land and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. And so flatten your lower back down into the floor. And when you do that, it'll change the angle into the pelvis and into your inner thighs. And then arch your lower back. So as I arch my lower back, there's a small space between the lower back and the floor. There's this arching behind me. And when I pull my lower back down, I have a totally no space between me and the floor. Just find that as you arch, as you flatten. And if you're feeling twanginess, then lift your knees a little bit higher so that they're not at the end of the range of motion. So what we're trying to do, is just warm into different ranges of motion by moving them, by warming them up, connecting to them, lengthening them, mobilizing them, arching your lower back, flattening down. One last time, arching your lower back, and flattening down. Nice, super. Bring both feet to the floor. Stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Nice, stretching up into the right heel, open through that leg, and then bend your right knee and bring the ankle of your right leg to the top of the left knee. So my right leg is resting in a figure four. Push both elbows into the floor, a little bit out from your sides, and begin to rock from side to side. So as you rock from side to side, you'll feel it's like the catch in the side of your waist as you rock from side to side. So feel that. I always feel it's really cleaning in the side of my ribs. I'm meeting the intercostals, the obliques, the amazing, strong, long muscles of the side of my body. So rock from side to side and notice how one side is slightly different to the other because of the shapes of our legs. Which way is it easier to go with this shape? Or is it just different each side? Nice. Come back to center. Stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling. Hold on to it. Draw it down towards you. And then point your right toe. Flex into your foot. Point into your right toe. Flex into your foot. And one more time. Point into your toe and flex into your foot. Nice. Bend your knee. Bring your foot to the floor. Pause there for a moment. Nice. Stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling. And just feel the left leg is long, it's up in the air, get a sense of your left leg, and then bend your left knee and bring the ankle to rest to the top of the right knee. And then begin to push your elbows into the floor and rock from side to side and feel the bite of the side of your waist, the rib cage. And notice, is there a difference between going one way and the other this side? As you rock from one side to the other, as you feel into your body. Really noticing. Super. Stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling, hold on to it. And then point your toes, flex your foot. Point your toes, flex your foot. Point your toes and flex your foot. Nice. Bring both feet to the floor. Feet are hip distance apart, arms along beside you, and roll up along your spine and pause on the up. And so as you're up here, really push into your big toes, have the sense of them connecting. Squeeze through the buttocks, lengthen through the front of your hips, and shoulders are solid, neck is comfortable. Draw your knees a little bit closer. Nice. Lower a little bit down and then sway from side to side. You're rocking onto the baby toe, big toe side of your foot and then the other way. And you're swaying your knees from side to side. Just getting a sense of the outsides of your joints, the sides of your hips, the sides of your knees, the strength of your ankles. And go only as far as feels comfortable to you. Is there something that's niggling? Don't force the niggle. Traveling from one side to the other. And maybe feeling like, wow, I'm so resilient in this, I can drop all the way down to the floor with my bum in the air. Or I need to go really slowly because I have an injury or I have something that I really want to listen to. Nice. Lower your bum to the floor. Squeeze both knees up towards you. Hug them in. Super cool. From here, roll all the way over into a seated position with your legs out long in front of you. Nice. So yesterday we were looking at this thing where, so bend both of your knees so your feet are flat on the floor. And we drew the left foot in. So the left foot was resting on the baby toe side of your leg. So bring your left hand to the floor and then just rock forward so that your bum on the right lifts a little bit off the floor, and then reach your hand forward. I call this reaching for the last sandwich of the picnic move. And then come back, your bum lands on the floor, and again, rock forward, touch the floor, your bum lifts behind you. And just feel that you're sitting on your bum, your knee might rise at the front, and then you lift your bum behind you, or as you rock forward, your bum is lifted. And just feel the gesture of the reaching of your hand does something through the whole side of your rib cage. So reaching of your hand, the weight lands more into your legs. Reaching of your hand. So now we're going to go further. We're going to try and lift our bum completely off the floor. So we're leaning a lot into the left knee. If you have any difficulty with the left knee, then go slowly or go less. So you're trying to lift your bum and come back. Nice. Other side. Both feet to the floor. Tuck the right foot in, so the baby toe side of your foot's on the floor. Bring your right hand to the floor and just touch in front of you. I'm not reaching. And then sit with your bum on the floor. Touch in front of you and rock the weight forward. Sit your bum on the floor. Touch. And now begin to reach. So your left bum is still on the floor, but you're reaching more. And now, your right bum is still on the floor, sorry. And you're reaching. So you're within the capacity of, you're still earthbound in this one. Your right leg is still on the floor, your bum is rocking forward, and you're just feeling that sense of the reaching, the zone of influence. And now you're going to start lifting. So rocking even more forward, so your whole bum lifts off the floor. Again, there's a lot of weight into the right knee as you do this. So listen. Do less if you need to. Find your limits, your zone of wellness. That's what this is all about. Not about forcing ourselves into anything crazy. Nice. One more time, reaching forward and coming all the way back. Stretch both legs long in front of you. Roll out through your wrists and your ankles. And then roll in the other direction, whatever that is. I just got really confused there. Nice. Roll out through your shoulders, big circle. As you roll, feel the deep of your shoulders, the length of your spine. Nice. So bring both hands over towards whichever. So come to your cat pose again, whichever way you do. And then just rounding your back, look towards your navel. Arching your back, look forward. Rounding your back, look towards your navel. Arching and look forward. And then let your right foot just come to stand on the floor. It's not up near the right hand. It's somewhere between where the right hand is and the right knee was. And then sit your bum back a little bit towards your left heel and then rock forward. So I'm just rocking forward and back, and I'm really sinking a little bit deeper into my hips as I do this. So my right foot is standing over a little bit to the side, between where my right knee was and my right hand is. I'm just rocking forward and backwards. Nice. Other side. Both knees to the floor. The left. And it's like it comes to plonk. Wherever it plonks on the floor without any kind of drama, really. And rock back and forward. And just feeling into your hips as you do this. Warming into the spine, the hamstrings, the buttocks. the shoulders, the knee, the foot. Nice. Bring both knees to the floor. Push back into your downward dog and just feel the length of you. Has it changed from the first beginning one that we did? Stretching into your heels, pushing down into your hands. Coming up onto your toes, dropping into your heels. Toes, and then dropping into your heels. So you have two options here. To end the class, you can rest in your child's pose and just checking in, has it changed since the beginning of the class? Or you can come rest on your back with your knees bent or your legs long or the soles of your feet together. I'm really enjoying the idea of starting and ending the class with the child's pose, but you can see if that suits you or not. Let everything slow down. Let your breath settle. Feel the contact. It's very nice having contact for your forehead if you're in the child's pose. And just let everything fall into that contact. Nice, guys. So either stay there for another few moments or begin to move and stretch and kind of find a awakening stretch of some kind. Really feel like I love stretching my arms overhead and reaching through my body. And just find that for you, whatever that is. Very nice awakening arising out of any resting pose. And then slowly in your own time, just coming all the way